But first tonight, I'd like to talk with you about money. It's something most of us think we don't have enough of. We often dream of having more, mostly so that we can do more for those that we love. But we also know that money doesn't grow on trees. You actually need to trade something for it, either your time, your skills, your knowledge, or something else that others consider of value. Instinctively, we understand that if we borrow money from someone else to help us buy something today, we're actually morally required to pay it back. And that repayment comes from future earnings, meaning you're likely to have less later on if you want to have more today. And that's okay. It's a personal choice, and it's how the world has worked forever. The principles have applied to individuals, to businesses, and to governments alike. But there's actually a new thought process growing in respect to money, particularly when it comes to government debts. And this idea is called modern monetary theory, and it suggests that debt doesn't matter because governments can just keep printing money to buy whatever they want to as long as they want. But they have to assume that the debt is actually accrued in their home currency, because if it is, they can always just print some cash and pay it off. And while that is simplistically accurate, it's also true that the consequences of running the printing presses willy-nilly have devastating economic impacts. Think Zimbabwe, post-war Germany, or Venezuela. To get some idea of the consequences, consider this. In Venezuela, it takes this much paper currency to buy a roll of toilet paper. Now, there's no prizes for guessing what people choose to use to clean up. So today, as our government seems relatively happy that the extra debt incurred this year alone is a shade under $200 billion, they also estimate the national debt is going to be close to $2 trillion, that's with a T, in years to come. But that's not a problem according to modern monetary theory. But I want to remind you tonight that debt really does matter. Every dollar borrowed today has to be repaid from forward consumption. And that might not affect you, but will impact your children or your grandchildren. And that's because they'll be paying more to get less, simply because collectively we demanded more right now. I think that's rather selfish, and I think it's morally wrong, and there's no way that we should accept it. You know the adage, there's no such thing as a free lunch? Well, it's not much different when it comes to government largesse. Everything the government gives you for free, someone else has to be paying for. Remember that next time you hear the siren call of debt doesn't matter.